Good morning. What's up, everybody? Whoops, that was weird. All right, let's see. Am I in the wrong thing? Let's see. Audio. Oh, there we go. The testing speakers, like when you test your audio, it's like this sweet little tune, this girl singing to you. It's pretty funny. Oh, good morning. Good morning, everyone. What's up, Ken? What's up, Gus? Oh, Gus, I got a good fantasy. Got good fantasy chat this morning. We always need Gus on. I feel like Gus should just join me on the show half the time. What do you think, buddy? Morning, Aaron. Good morning, Jody. Good morning. Good morning. Hope everyone, good morning, Craig. Hope everyone's feeling good. I am feeling refreshed as per usual, mainly because of Thirdsy. Thirdsy is the go-to sleep supplement without melatonin. So what's up, Mac56? Welcome, welcome. Yeah, hope everyone's doing good. It's Friday, October 4th. What are we going to talk about? Yeah, we got a lot coming up. I don't know if anyone caught it yesterday, but I completely waxed John in a workout. What's up, Larry? Hey, man, I'll give you a good discount. Larry, when are you going to let me coach you? Hmm? Help you get to those goals. You and your son. I should coach both of the youngs. See, Gus, I did it just for you. I'm going to redo that sandbag workout. That might actually be what I do today. That sounds pretty good. Do it and video it for you. 12 minutes. Actually sounds like right up my alley of what I want to do today. This is interesting. So I feel like this a lot, and then I always feel it's funny when Kenneth said I slept fine, but I woke up feeling hungover, and this happens to me not a lot, but like really consistently when I do one thing. Okay, and it's when obviously when I'm a little dehydrated, but it's when I drink like a fizzy water, like a bubbly or a Spindrift before bed, right? And um, so when I drink one of those, like basically from like 8 to 10, okay, and I don't have water, like I wake up and I have a headache, like I feel hungover. Like the first 30 minutes. It's crazy. Like it's so specific and it happens every single time. Boom. Fucking let's go. I fucking told you. I'm telling you, I don't know what it is, but it's for me. I don't know if it's like the carbonation or whatever, but it fucking happens every single time. Like clockwork. And so I won't drink them. Like if I'm gonna drink it, I have to drink it like way before dinner. Way before dinner. But Spindrift is fire. Like if you drink any other bubbly, you're psycho. Spindrift is the best. But yeah, I'm telling you, man, it's like clockwork. Clockwork for me. So I built a wall ball target last night so I can practice wall balls. That's good. I think. Good for you. Maybe. I don't know. Polar cranberry. I don't know. I don't like polar, man. I love Spindrift. I think Spindrift is like the lightest. I don't know. It's just like, it's like not overly carbonated. It's not overly juicy. You know what I mean? But it's got enough flavor. Like we do bubbly. My wife likes a lime bubbly, but I feel like there's not enough flavor. You know what I mean? And Spindrift just makes me feel like it's probably more healthy, probably because it just costs twice as much. But it is what it is. I don't know. There's probably some preservative in there that's killing us all, aspartame or I don't know, fluoride or some dumb shit. I don't know. Ask Savon. He'll know. And Taylor. They'll find a way to make it terrible for you. I started reading a book last night. I got like a third of the way through it. It's called The Ultimate Blueprint for an Insanely Successful Business. Just trying to better my the plastic lining of the exactly. right? Microplastics. Whoops. Microplastics, definitely. Um, it's always interesting to like, read business books. I committed to reading fiction this year, and I read Harry Potter series from like May, January to April. Um, and then I kind of just like lost it, and I've been a little lazy with it. I think it's a podcast fault, but I was like, oh, I'll read this book. It's a good one. One of my business buddies, he owns a much larger company than WODprep. I was like, you should read this book. And I was like, cool. So started reading it last night, and it's good. Yeah, it's a good book. Um let's see. What's on the 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 Instagram sphere? Whoop, that's not good. Why is that doing that? There we go. All right, cool. Oh man. How's everyone's week? Oh, I saw something. Mm, Thanks, Aaron. It was fun. I it was funny. I felt like we talked. I felt like it was just all of a sudden an hour. I felt like we could have talked for like 3 or 4 or 5 hours. Um, yeah, it was good. It was good. I enjoyed. Those girls are awesome. We're good people. It's so interesting to hear someone that was so far one political way actually be converted or like make the shift. It's such an interesting concept, and like not, good on them. But like to see that, you just don't see that anymore. And I just don't. It was very, very, very interesting. They're kind of like flow political sightings. Anyways, we don't talk about politics. Um, Man, guys, when you have kids, like shit is busy, man. It's so busy. Like just so busy. Yeah, it must be. Good on anyone that can do that, right? Like whether you go from right to left, left to right, or whatever, or you completely switch your beliefs over a certain amount of time. That's a really hard thing to do, just for anybody. Um, Personal growth. Man, so we were supposed to have this relaxed weekend, okay, a family, because I'm leaving Thursday. My son's birthday is Wednesday. He's turning 2. I'm so excited. And like we have like 2 birthday parties. Grandpa's coming over. Something else on Saturday. 2-year-old photos. It's just like always something, you know? It's always something. Always, always, always something. And man, I just want to like not have anything. And then, that whole fucking work thing. It's exhausting. It's long, 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 long. All right. Larry, you keep saying this, but I feel like you should just make the commitment. Um, how do I celebrate Bennett's birthday? Well, I'm a shit dad and I'm traveling the day after. Um, uh, but I'm gonna keep him home from school the Wednesday that went to Wednesday. I think we're gonna go to Sky Zone. He's like just old enough to like jump around on the trampoline. Um, and so we'll keep him home from school. He'll do like a little school birthday on Tuesday, which we'll get like a donut or something. He doesn't like cake. He likes donuts, so it's probably that's like really he's I don't know. Is he picky? Probably, but I mean, he still eats meat. He'll eat some veggies and stuff. But like from a sweets perspective, he likes a donut. So we'll probably get some donuts. We got him loves cars, right? Like Cars the movie and like all the little like 1/54th ratio um size cars, and so we have like I don't know 30 of them. So we got him like this ramp. Mm. So we got like this ramp. Jesus. So we got this ramp that um like holds cars, right? You can like stack them in there like like a garage, and then it goes down. And so I have to build that this weekend. And so that's what we got. And then we're going camping the weekend after I get back. So I'm gone the 12th and 13th. I get back Monday and pick up the camper Wednesday, and then we go camping Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So we just go to like a local campground. It's like a water park, and it's got live music. It's this like um thing. So we watch a little bit of Paw Patrol, but he is it's a Cars birthday theme is what we're doing this year. But man, the first thing Bennett says to me every morning is watch Blaze. He fucking loves Blaze. Blaze is like this like monster truck show, and they do like math and stuff and like shapes and geometry and like engineering type things, and he like answers the math questions. They're like, is this enough? And he's like, yes. And he's like, no. It's so funny. Okay. Oh my gosh, guys. I didn't know my kid could be so cute, but God, he's cute. Man, he makes me happy. Um, God, it's so awesome being a dad. I love it. Busy. So busy, but it's fucking awesome. Um Gus, why'd you build a wall? Are you not good at wall balls? Gus, I feel like you're probably good at everything. Oh, the girls talked about you on the Clinton's podcast. They said you were smoking hot. Is that true? Are you a babe? Gus? That's the one thing. So I can do everything in the garage here. I can do everything at the high, like targeted things, right? Wall balls, muscle ups. I can't do muscle ups anyways, but wall balls and rope climbs. So no, it is not that show. I think that's a Disney show, and they talk about on that show. It's like, oh, my name is Fred, but I'm a girl. I think that's that show. They just like really confuse kids. Um, but no, not Blaze. Blaze is pretty accurate. I check the math all the time. So yeah. Um, yeah. Anything on the Instagram sphere that we want to go over? I feel like there was something. Yeah. So Aaron, I've had a couple strokes. Weird, I know, but my most recent one was from a carotid dissection, kind of like unknown, and so rapid flexion extension of the head is something that I can't do safely. So no ring muscle ups. I can do bar muscle ups and chest to bars. Not like, I mean, I can. I don't know. It's kind of like a risk, like a risk tolerance or a risk averse sort of thing, but I can't do ring muscle ups. I didn't see the fast. I saw the clip of that. Is that worth watching? Should we pull it up? Should we do like a Hiller review? Hmm. Jesus Christ, guys, there's a lot of things that I tolerate, and I'm like, I don't know, accepting of. Nah, I lied. That's probably not true at all. But one thing is, man, is like, dude, I can't stand when people just like don't take care of themselves, and like they just become obese. Like it's just like you're just effectively killing yourself. Even it's just, yeah. Ugh. Larry needs to commit to me coaching him is what it is. What do I want Larry to commit to? Larry needs to commit to me coaching him and his son. I'll help them both. I don't care who John's coach is. um yeah. Let's see. We want to pull this up. What is this? See, Jody knows. Jody knows. Is this worth watching? Ooh, there we go.
From Jerry Queen. That's it, guys. Thanks for coming. No, dude, you don't have to finish with an ice cream cone.
Gross.
Possible, and I'm not saying she isn't out there, but I've never seen it. Same way with 100 pounds. I've never met a woman who is 300 pounds who can do a strict pull-up. I'm not saying it's impossible, and I'm not saying she isn't out there, but I've never seen it. Same way
She's
that I've
not
never
out
seen a
there, by the
man
way.
who's 350 or
She's not out there. There's 0% chance there's any female over 300 pounds doing a pull-up.
400 pounds doing a strict pull-up. They don't have I told my members to do when I was in peak CrossFit, who I think where I brought up alcohol just then, they bring up heroin. I mean, it's the same, but different. If you're going to take heroin, you're going to
This is something I would like to see, this CBG, the CBG guy, like, go toe to toe with Greg, because his thing is all about, like, carbs aren't bad at all. That all
become
carbs are the same, right? Processed carbs are the same as like a vegetable being processed.
addicted to
It's an
heroin. If you
interesting
have
thing.
sugar, you got a
This
predisposition to be wanting more
actually, let's go find this.
sugar. You're now strung on. You're brought along. They don't end up finding any common ground. CBG online, I also got the sense that they're very calorie based. Calories in, calories out. I'm very big on that as well. But on the spectrum of calories in, calories out to eliminate all sugar, I think it should kind of be a lot of both, which is going to bring me to all these clips that I'm about to show you. Because I've never met a person who eats exclusively meat and is overweight. The thing about eating exclusively meat is that there's no sugar in meat unless you season it like a barbecue, like ribs or whatever. It's going to be very hard to overeat a bunch of vegetables. You could probably more simply overeat.
Aaron, we're talking about females. Yeah, 100%. Like a male, there's males that are that, but a female that big, very, very, very unlikely. Like, I'm guessing 0.01% chance that that's even possible. Yeah.
Eat a bunch of fruit, but the reoccurring food brought up by CBG Online Nutrition is Pop-Tarts. And you tell me what's going to put on more weight onto a human. 3 watermelons or 50 Pop-Tarts? Because I don't think that I know a person that's going to be able to eat 3 watermelons, but I damn well bet you that there are people out there who can consume way too many Pop-Tarts. It's the palatability of the food.
I
It's
agree
how
with
easy
him.
they are to suck down.
I do want to see CBG go online. He basically says, no, he said female.
I'm now sitting here looking at it like it's basically telling them that you have the tools to give somebody a strict pull-up. There is no strict pull-up program for a woman who is 300 pounds.
See, so he says woman.
That is your strict pull-up program to a whole bunch of people who are overweight, telling them that you have the tools to give somebody
This is
a
the
strict pull-up.
anti-polar
There
line
is no
chat.
strict pull-up.
But I agree. They're probably right. I mean, there's there's also 1% of 1%. I've watched linemen 300 pounds box jump 40-inch boxes with 250-pound dumbbells in their hands too, in a collegiate strength gym room. And so they're just absolute freaks of nature. And they force themselves to be that big too. Right. That's why a lot of linemen lose so much weight when they're done playing football, is because they force themselves to be that big. They also bench press 600 pounds. So
pull-up program.
I'm having a Diet Coke. Honestly,
I don't think it's better. And anything in here, you want to fill it with stuff, is what it seems like CBG Online Nutrition is doing.
yeah, so CBG is all for just protein, and then like
things
nothing
from
else
somebody
matters.
is going to ruin their long-term progress. It's better to have a little bit sometimes.
Is this all about
maintain
CBG?
it forever. I get what you're saying, but this is going to end up being the end result because they're in a caloric deficit, but they're always going to be starving. They are massive humans, and as a massive human, wouldn't you want to fill that thing in your stomach? Extra
and delicious.
Ugh,
they're coming
gross.
from carbohydrates.
Dude, I can't.
Stuff that is going to be.
This is just. That's right. Spindrift 100%. Fuck that polar shit. We ain't no bougie 100%.
Progressive in your journey towards getting something that
I mean, I'm all for people
do
exercising
in the first place. So
but
are you going any faster? Are you going any further?
I want them to do all the things.
190
What does that say?
pounds. And the second that I introduced testosterone, 200 milligrams a week from California Hormones, I went from 190 up to 210, basically on accident over the course of about a month and a half or two. Got freaking huge. I've dropped my dose from 200 down to fool yourself with this garbage.
Not acceptable. Ugh, gross. Yeah, I hate it. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that was that. Nasty. Ugh, it's just like it's just unacceptable. I do love some pizza for sure. I was just like more of like a very large person, like chowing down on pizza, saying it's healthy. Did I fuck with pizza all the time? I'm also 9 to 10% body fat, and you know, 90% of the time I eat chicken, a meat, fruit, oatmeal. Sorry, not oatmeal. Yogurt, maybe with some granola, and that's like my eggs, avocado. So we try and keep it there. I don't know. I'm like waffling, right? With like Metfix and like just like all carbs are bad and like shifting to a like keto based diet, and it is challenging. It's hard and all these things. And I don't know. I'm excited for all of their education to come out. I want to really dig into it, mainly for like Bennett, right? I'm just trying to and my wife and my family, like, is this worth like us making this push? Is it like any carbs, like any bread ever? Is that bad? And so, um, yeah, I mean, I'm all for red meat, Aaron. So what's the question? So, like, what do you think about red meat? I fucking love red meat. I think the myth that cholesterol was caused by high fat diets are just poor, and I think we've proven, um, uh, I think we've proven that that's not the case. Um, um, Larry, you just missed that you need to work with me. Um, yeah, and so 90% of the time I eat super clean, but I will smash a pound. I bet that stash will smash a pound of tater tots. I have no doubt. But like, what do I think about red meat? I mean, I love it. I'm pretty sure we ate red meat last night. What did we eat? What did I cook last night? I don't even know. I had some like chimichurri chicken thighs that I put on the grill for today. And what did I make for dinner? Um, what did we have for dinner last night? Oh, we had meatballs. Like I just got like some store-bought meatballs. Is it the cleanest meat? No, but it's meat, right? It's like they make it with like an 80/20. And um I probably would eat more red meat. I just can't afford it. And like I just don't, I don't know. I like chicken, I like ground turkey. You know what I mean? We do breakfast pretty often, like once a week, like bacon and eggs, and so yeah, I think there's a lot of like nitrates and processed stuff out there, and hormone influence meat, but uh, you know, so we try to mix it up. Like I have salmon. I'm gonna cook salmon tonight. Right. We have like a like pound and a half of salmon I'll throw on the grill. And so we try and do that. And we'll try and do a salad, just like spring mix. And I don't know. I found we have to have some like organic olive oil based Caesar stuff, right? That's just fats. We'll throw some croutons in there. I'm not gonna, just eat like plain lettuce. So um this is awesome. I would love to do Piedmontese 5 days a week. Dude, those cows are fucking yoked. If anyone doesn't know what Piedmontese is, which I assume everyone in here in this chat would, um, uh, is this like the yoked cattle? Yeah, jacked cows. Anyways, so Piedmontese is like a pre-order. Y'all, look at these cows. Oh man, they have like special cows that are like extra yoked. It's funny. But it's like a pre-order, sort of like I don't know, like what else do you call it? Hmm, like frozen steaks, right? Like a butcher box or I don't know, whatever. All the other like order online. Anyways, I get like I usually get a Piedmontese every like box from a family member every year, and it's the best. I fucking love it. Yeah, yeah, like a subscription box. Thank you. Words are hard, Ken. That's why I need you. You're just like my running encyclopedia. Thanks, buddy. Um, my rich father-in-law got into raising cattle. Fuck. Because the Democrats stop it. Now I have endless amounts of beef. You can sell that shit. Yeah, I mean, God, that guy's crazy. Dude, that guy went off the rails. He's all about like, yeah. It is. It's the best holiday gift for sure. 100%. Like the most practical gift. If you guys want to send Bennett a birthday gift, subscription box, even though he doesn't eat meat. Yeah, this is funny. But Mark Bell is wild. Dude, that guy's like running half marathons in like flip flops now and just like looks like a cancer patient. He just doesn't look healthy. Um, but yeah, so where were we at? Yeah, he does jump around a lot. He's all about like Idle Portal and what do they call that? Um like the movement method or something like that. I don't know. Some weird like flowy animal moving shit. It's very weird. Um but yeah. Anyways, so back to he's not a fucking hybrid athlete. No, he's not. That dude is running like 14-minute miles. He's just used to bodybuild and now he just tries to run instead. But yeah, going back to the CBG CrossFit book argument. I don't know. I want to read more into like what Netflix is saying, right? Into this whole preventing Alzheimer's and dementia and like Parkinson's disease, like all being related to like glucose in the brain. I don't know. Like it's a lot. It's super scary, right? Like I don't want to put my kid through that or put myself through that and have to have my family deal with it. Like that's the shit I'm really scared of. Right. So we'll get a little deep. So I had a stroke. I had that carotid dissection in February of 2020. What year is it? 2023. Um, um, and so, um, uh, and so during that time, right? So I did open workout 23.1. I was sitting on the rower, and then when I went to stand up, I couldn't stand, right? My legs weren't working. And so I knew immediately I was having a stroke, like immediately, right? I'd had some blood pressure issues and I had some stuff kind of happen weird like that summer prior. And so I tried to walk around. No, I didn't. It's also not a heart thing, right? This is like for sure like an very specific arterial thing. So uh anyway, so during this time period, right, I was walking around the gym, my legs, I got some, feeling back in my legs. Then my hands started going numb and I went to the hospital. And by the time I got to the hospital, I was asymptomatic and I pretty much remained asymptomatic the entire time. I haven't really had any type of numbness or weakness feeling since then. I've gone through bouts of like really bad headaches and a lot of fatigue. And I have like a really crazy amount of paranoia when I get to like a red line from like a heart rate and intensities perspective. So like, like after you do Karen or something like that, your legs feel weak, right? That's the normal response. But for me, right, I go into like this hyper paranoia response of like, am I having another stroke? Do I need to go through it? Right. And I always keep like a gripper, like, it was my strength still there, etc. But during this time, right. So I have a story. This isn't about me. Talking about food and like worrying about my family and putting them through things. Like the whole time I just worried, I was like, am I leaving Bennett? Right. Like, am I leaving my wife to raise this kid alone, you know what I mean? Or like to become a burden on the family. And like that's the only thing I thought about the whole time. Right. And I think about that all the time still. It's like my biggest fear is like leaving my family like in a bad position. Right. And so like the last, I don't know, 18 months has been like very focused on like setting up investments and setting up money for the future and like life insurances and things like that, which fun fact, I had life insurance prior because I'm the main breadwinner of the family, dude. And no matter what you say about it, but after fucking having a stroke at 30, it's hard to get life insurance. So, in case you guys didn't know, in case you were wondering. So, but yes, this is 100%. So I can only go so hard. And it really is dependent on like the movement selection and things like that. Like I can still push pretty hard if it's like aerobic or, but like I won't like go red line with like cycling barbells um, or like, any type of gymnastics. But like body weight stuff, burpees, double unders, box jumps, even like deadlifts. Like, so I will on some things, but I won't on most things. And so, yes, it does. It does like make me nervous, but all of my stuff and my limitations aren't heart rate bias. Like my true limitations, they're certain movement selections. So I can't go upside down. Like I'll do some wall walks, like just for training, but I try not to do them under a lot of fatigue because of the intracranial pressure. And I won't do handstand push-ups anymore. I'll still do some GHCs. I just started doing a little bit of handstand walking, like not in workouts, just because I do enjoy handstand walking. I won't do ring muscle ups, handstand push-ups, and then I can't lift super, super heavy. Um, no, nothing. Nothing. Just very freak accident sort of thing. So was I on any prescriptions? Nope, nothing. Um, yeah, I've gone through lots of like hypothesis on what could have caused it. I was training for the season. I had done like an accumulated 100 strict handstand push-ups and 100 muscle ups like in that 5-day period. So my thought is, and I was playing golf a lot more. And so my thought is at some point there, I probably like fissured or tore that carotid, that internal carotid artery because it was bilateral, right? So it had to happen traumatically. Um, so I'm guessing it was probably a handstand push-up or a muscle up. And so what I'm thinking is that it happened at some point prior in the 3 to 4 days, but I wasn't hypoxic, right? I wasn't running red line and I wasn't like oxygen deficient. And so once I was, once that workout ended, it was going through that excessive post oxygen consumption, which is what happens after a workout or like a hard session. That's why most people, when they do pass away from like marathons, they pass away after the marathon is over because like the body's in like a much more demand. So my thought is that it happened at sometime in the 3 to 5 days prior, and then that workout because I redlined so hard, and I pushed to everything. I'd already done that workout once, and I really sent it. I wanted to be my score. I wanted to get back to the rower. Blah 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 blah, and so like I was like full dummy. And so I'm thinking that because I was so hypoxic and I was so redlined at that point, that's when like the symptoms showed because I needed all the blood going to my brain, but I was missing basically like I had an occlusion in one of the arteries. So like what so I had a dissection in both my internal carotids, which are your smallest ones. And so one wasn't giving blood to the brain. But if it's the smallest one, it's one of seven. mm, Nine, seven. Um, and so my thought is that when I needed all of it, I didn't have as much to give. And so that's when I started to feel the symptoms of like not having um, as much oxygen to the brain as I needed. It was after the open workout, 23.1, the 60, the chipper. So yeah, anyways, yeah, super scary. But again, um, more scary mainly from like the potential of like leaving my family, right? That shit was so scary. Um, so yeah, nerve-wracking for sure. And now it's like, what risk do I want to take? Is it even worth it? Blah, 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 all that stuff, you know? Oop. Hmm. Anyways, now you guys get to know more about me. Any questions? Does anyone have anything they want to talk about? I'm not that smart. I hope you're listening to another podcast. So, I'm trying to find this back and forth between CBG and the CrossFit book, because it was a good one. They went at it. It was pretty nice. He seems pretty smart, this guy from CBG. What's CBG stand for? It's like, I don't remember. Something trendy. Oh, excuse me. Here it is. All right. I'm going to pull it up. Oh, yeah. He's going to, but she's going to work him for sure. I'm going to have Emily on. I'm so stoked. I got to, in a few weeks, I think. Certified Big Guns. That's not what it's called. No, it's not. Consistent breeds growth. Shut the fuck up, Sean. Oh man, I just fucking had it. Where'd it go? Here we go. Yeah, they went at it. We don't need to learn.
There's no expense. Get off your fucking couch and quit eating carbs. What did that cost you? And what I mean by carbs, I'm talking about the high glycemic processed stuff, not the broccoli, but the sugar. And you get off that stuff, and that's not going to cost you anything else. That's going to save you. If you want to be handheld through the process, supported, encouraged, and cheered on, and make friends along the way, then you go to a box, and it's $150 a month.
Is this an old clip?
And that's the cost of health.
A new clip.
That.
Let's see. No sugar. Got it. Let me see. Are there any carbs that don't get broken down into glucose? Nope. Veggies get broken down into glucose. Yeah. So he says that all carbs are the same. That's such a broad stroke statement, right? That's a tough one. I don't know, man. I mean, I guess like biochemistry says that's probably true. I don't know well enough, right? I don't know. It does. It does, but basically they're saying that it doesn't have to. Right? So this is the biggest driver of all of this is saying that the brain doesn't have to run on glucose, it can run on ketones. Emily said that the other day, like verbatim, that exact statement. Right? She said it can run on ketones, and that we are learning that running on ketones is safer for like all of these big and so like Parkinson's, cancer, Alzheimer's, MS, like all of these things that basically glucose is the fuel for these diseases to proliferate, right? To grow. So that's nuts, man. To say the 200 calories of Mountain Dew is the same as 200 calories of broccoli. That's such a fucking broad stroke statement, man. Or metastasize. Yeah. That's for cancer, though, specifically. Like cell proliferation is metastasizing. It's the same thing. Metastasize is specific to cancer, though. Proliferation is like any type of like duplication and growth. Man, it's just like so he's saying no, not really but then he follows it up with just eating better foods. But that's the same thing, right? Like we're just trying to eat better foods. He's saying that you don't need to eat carbs, and he's saying we can't eat carbs. We should eat better versions of carbs. Man, I don't know. It's just a tough one. All right, now I've got an argument in here. This is funny. Yeah. This is just like easier said than done, right? I mean, I think it's super clear, right? When most of the bad foods or even like the processed foods just aren't even real, right? Um, I'll destroy you. I would love to see anyone debate Greg. I think he's a little mistaken. It's tough. Oh, I think that's just like this is weird. It went through twice. Yeah. Yeah. This is interesting. So I think so the statement is that is for that what's his name? I don't know his name. I don't know. He's like a young guy. The state,
Eat meat and vegetables, nuts and
like the statement is that it all ends up being the same, that like this processed carbs and added sugar is the same as broccoli in quantity, right? So like 100 carbs of broccoli is the same as 100 carbs of processed carbs. That's just such a hard thing to digest, right? That's just like, I don't know how like, man, I feel like they're just missing something, like that's just such a hard thing to kind of go through. I feel like this all went like, I don't know, for some reason it like doubled down. It was all the same stuff. Um, Man, that's just it's wild. I just don't even, man, but at the same time, so say it's not, right? It is different totally. Okay. Then if it is different totally, then we can't eat any carbs, right? Then the goal, then like the bid and like where they're really leaning now or where Metfix is leaning is that it's like no carbs, right? Like back to, yeah, it's true. So this is like, that's a weight loss thing. That's not necessarily a health thing, right? So like calories in, calories out is for weight loss. Um, and so like weight gain, weight loss, right? And physics is physics for sure, right? Protein matters 100%. But if you eat less than you burn, right, you're going to lose weight over time. Okay. Right. But that's not what they're talking about here. Right. Or maybe it is. Maybe CBG is only for performance. And, then that's a different person. Right. Like Greg is talking about, the 97% of people that are fucking obese and, eating poorly. Yeah. Yeah. I agree here. This is amazing. Y'all, 728. Holy shit. What is that? 24 a day? Right? Yeah. 2 dozen eggs a day. That's fucking wild. No, you can't, right? But I think that's what CBG is trying to do. At least that's what he's trying to defend, is that like all carbs are the same once they enter the body. Man, that's just such a hard thing to do, right? Man, such a hard thing to like digest. Like like the schooling says that that's what it is, right? That's like what Greg's saying. Tell me you're an RD without telling me you're an RD, right? Like, because that's what it says. But gosh, dude, it's just, I don't know if I can digest that. Like if and then now the other definite, like the defending point is that yes, 200 calories of Mountain Dew and 200 calories of broccoli are the same once they enter the body, but 200 calories of broccoli is so much fucking broccoli. You're just not going to eat as much, right? And so now we're back to physics, and the quality will deem generally more restrictive just by nature because it's way more food, right? When we're not talking about processed or the Pop Tarts. God, Pop Tarts are like the worst food on the planet, like top 5. Not one thing in a Pop Tart is real. That's crazy. I used to fucking love Pop Tarts. Do s'mores Pop Tarts every morning. Uh-oh. All right. Whoa. This isn't the channel. I mean, I'll talk about it with anybody. But right? I mean, I feel like you're on Greg's side, right? Greg isn't reducing food to macronutrients. He's talking about quality of food and saying that carbs are bad from a biological standpoint, right? But it is the same old, it is, but it's not. Yeah. Yeah, Samuel. I don't know if this is the right chat. This is definitely not a Greg Hayton chat by any means, but I'll for sure chat with you about it. I'd love to talk about it. I mean, you're on this podcast watching me in this, Sean, be nice. Everyone has their own opinion, but it's all because of Greg, and I'm loyal to a fault, right? Greg is the reason we're all here, right? Yeah, I agree. Greg is not denying that. Greg is agreeing with that. CBG is the one that says that they don't have different physiological effects. So I think you're supporting Greg within this statement. Yeah, this is true, right? But I guess we'll find out if Metfix can break through the barrier, right, and get out of the CrossFit world. I think that's their goal, right? So Glassman isn't wrong, but he's preaching to the choir. Who's listening to him that isn't a CrossFitter? 100%, right? But I think that's why he brought on Emily, who's been in the real world, not our little bubble. And that's their goal, is to get out of our bubble and get into the real world. Nah, I don't know about that. You're a beefcake, bro. Yeah, dude, you're shredded. 7%'s pretty lean, though. I would say I would verge on the fact that maybe so he believes, so he doesn't he's not he understands carbs have different biological effects. He's saying that carbs in general from a biological standpoint are bad, and that they drive cell proliferation for and support and fuel cancer, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, etc. And that's where his driver is, right? It's not on the actual nutritional, like, is it going to make you fit or is it going to make you full, etc. Like, we're going deeper into like biological responses and like pathophysiological problems, right? Like way past just, is it nutritious or is it not nutritious, etc. Right? And avoiding chronic disease. He believes all carbs are what create chronic disease across the board. Right? So, I mean, if we're reading it right here, right? So this right here, if you know anything about fat metabolism or insulin resistance, you know that a little sugar knocks you out of ketosis. Your body is then relying on exogenous glucose, right? Unable to use fat stores. If someone has a low A1C, they're doing it right. And by right, I mean restricting carbs in the way the body can manage. If not, carbs have to go, right? So basically, little fruit keeps you in this low A1C bit. But he's saying that high carb, he is wrong. Lots of evidence against this demonization. Right. He's saying, I don't know if you know, but I mean, his whole thing is like broken science. He's saying all of this science is wrong, right? And that's his thing, right? Because it's all based on expert opinion and consensus, right? And consensus responses, right? So it's just a bunch of experts got in, they're like, okay, this looks like this and blah, blah, blah. And I'm not saying he's right or wrong, but that's the whole bit of broken science, in case you didn't know. Like, the entire bit is that all of the research is a lie, supported by big soda, big pharma, etc. So, but I hear you. The evidence does. But I mean, what's up, baby? Gus, but I think, yeah, and so these are different, right? And this is like where I'm struggling with now currently. So I don't train for performance anymore, right? So should I keep my carbs lower, which I have been, and I feel the same. Nothing feels like it's changing. But again, man, I'm just fucking worried about like getting Alzheimer's. Like it's like my number one fear, right? Obviously dying and leaving my family, but my number one fear is like being a useless dad, right? Of like I'm so nervous that I'm gonna get Alzheimer's when I'm older and like have dementia. Like I don't know why. Like it's like my number one fear. Like whenever we watch something on TV and you see someone, I'm like, just fucking put a bullet in me. Don't let me like let me ride off into the sunset. I'll leave you guys a bunch of money and then don't take care of me. I don't think so. I mean, he backs it up with a lot of science. I mean, there's a lot of points to prove, it's yeah. I mean, it might be, right? But he's pretty smart, you know, and there's not too many people that are not consuming carbs that have chronic disease. It's probably none of them, right? So, um, but yeah. Yeah. The science he likes is not broken. You paying for it? I'll come to Italy. So that's all right. You don't have to be a Greg fan. It's fair. I mean, I support you and your beliefs. I don't know if you're wrong or right. It's a tough one to know. I want to look more into um longest living people here. Yeah, true. They also eat exceptionally low amount of food, right? And they do eat a lot of carbs, you're right. But like he said, I bet they have low A1Cs, right? And I think that's the point, right? You have to create hard stances to get people to change their mind, right? And so, yes, they live long. Does what's Italy's life's life expectancy? All right, let's see, life expectancy worldwide. Let's see. Map. Here we go. Ranking. It's definitely longer than the States, but everyone's fucking longer than the States. Let's see, what do we got? Italy's number 7. Maybe, right? And I'm not saying that's wrong, right? I think what Greg is trying to quantify. Ooh, now we're in conspiracy here, right? So I think this is a big thing, right? Like less processed foods, right there, right? So that still fits the narrative. But yes, Italians and Japanese eat a ton of carbs, almost the primary, right? Different processed, more quality food. And I bet the A1Cs are still low. And then I don't know anything about this, but there's probably some accuracy here. So man, you guys have like such a broad breadth of knowledge. I don't know shit. I love having you guys in the chat. So here we go. By the way, I'm looking up little toy ride-ons. That's why this is all over my ads right now. If any of you have bought a ride-on car and you really liked it for your kid, let me know the brand. We're trying to find one. Some of them are just like way too intense and other ones are kind of pussy-like. And so anyways, I don't know what this means. Meggie, what does this mean? It's not every in Italy. There is one of the blue zones. So Italy, 85, right? I mean, the states are like on the bottom, right? And so, God, where is it? Holy shit. Where's the United States? It's like down here somewhere, isn't it? Virgin Islands. We miss it. United States, 50th. Sheesh. It's probably from the men. Men are dum-dums. 48th. Oh well. Where are we at? The blue zones. I don't know what that means. What are blue zones? How much would US numbers go up if you remove deaths of young adults and teens? I mean, I don't know, probably a decent bit. But we just have such a big population, right? So it's like it's a hard comparison. Like just in nature, the bigger the population, the harder it is, right? I think China, like Hong Kong as being its own thing, it's not a lot of people, right? Like Hong Kong itself as its own country, right? Which is such a strange thing. I don't know why they do that. Let's go this way. Japan, all of these, I guess Australia is big, you know. But I think, yeah, and we know that this is true, right? So if we know that this is true, then I don't know what this means. I don't know what everyone's arguing about here. What are blue zones? Blue zones. Huh. Interesting. What do we know what causes blue zones? I mean, but that like how many people are in the blue zone, right? So that's gonna blue zones, how like what's the population? Population of blue zone Sardinia. Right. So I mean Sardinia is 1.5 million people, right? And so what's the total population of Italy? Right, 60. So I mean that's like I mean what were we talking about? 1.5%. Um yeah, so I mean, and again, it's I think there's a lot of um like nuance to it, right? So who knows? Read the linked article. It will discuss them. Cool. I will. Yeah, I don't know. Interesting. Defend it, baby. Defend it. You stay in your ground, Samuel. I support you and you're standing your ground. Anyways, I love Greg. I support his ambition in stop it. We were all dumb at one point, right? We were all naive. I took it down. I'll be honest. Didn't know what I was doing. I was influenced and, I took it down 100% because I felt like I had an obligation to, and I felt guilty, and then I learned. So, and I don't have guilt anymore. So, anyways, that's all right. That's okay. You and your hey, I took it down. I took it down. I learned. Hey, I was awoken. I was awoken, right? Away from the woke. And I never say it was that. I guess I just didn't realize what it was until later, right? I think everyone went through this point of like I did, man. I had so much guilt. And I was just like, man, why do I have this opportunity and blah blah blah. And then I fucking dug into my past and I sat down for 5 minutes and I was like, I didn't have shit growing up. My parents are broke. They didn't leave me nothing. I don't have any family. So you know what? I said, fuck that. Anyways. That's all right. Sam's not chirping me. I enjoy Sam, right? He doesn't have to like Greg. I don't judge him for that. right? He wants to be healthy. Thinks Greg's a conspiracist. Greg's pretty out there for sure, but it is what it is. You know, I think we always need people on both sides of the ball and both sides of the coin. So what's Brian? Oh, Brian enemy. Good question. See, here we go. Let's bring it back. Bring it back to the things that I know about, because I don't know shit about nutrition. I want to learn more. Bruh, that guy's gonna die. Sam Sulek is gonna just fucking keel over. He might get to his goal, but he's gonna die. Is there a max weight for deadlifts for a total shoulder? Kelly, how far out are you from the total shoulder? But no, once you're out of like normal healing times, I would say 6 to 9 months. Nope, you're not gonna pull it out. No way. I mean, unless you're like, I mean, I guess theoretically, if you're deadlifting like 400 or 500 pounds, but I'm just going to guess that that's not the case. And even so, I don't think it would. There's very, 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 very unlikely. No more likely than you know, like, I don't know, like getting jerked or something like that and it coming out. So no, from a safety perspective, I don't think there's a max, right? If you feel strong enough, set your shoulders. You've done all your shoulder work and your support, your rotator cuff stuff, and all of your posterior chain, like shoulder girdle work, teres minor, major, back flies, shrugs, you know, pressing, etc. Then I don't think there's I can't imagine that there's a weight that is going to actually take you to that point. But no, dude, Sam Sulek is going to die. Like, he's insane. That guy talks into his mic every day for an hour, right? He hasn't posted in a while though. Oh, yes, he has. That's a pinned post. Dude, insane. He is crazy. That dude's wearing like XXX shirts. Bro, dude, guys, if you don't know who Sam Sulek is, yeah, fuck, man. He did it right. That dude is crushing it. If you don't know who Sam Sulek is, he was a swimmer, and this guy eats terrible. Terrible. Dude. This is a good question too. But I mean, he is insane. He can't even talk into his mic for more than 10 seconds without sounding out of breath. Bro, he's so big. Like, look, he's just sitting on the couch. This is like a XXX shirt, and he almost fills out the sleeves. Huge. Diet. Cereal. Five Guy burgers. Bro. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Thanks, Kelly. Yeah, because he's just fucking that whole method is wild. Let's get this off the screen. More cereal. I do love me some cereal though. Sure, but I mean like his diet isn't helping for sure. Yeah, his heart's just gonna stop work. It's gonna explode 100%. But his diet isn't helping it either, right? But to do that, to consume that much food, he couldn't vegetable his way to that big. There's no way, right? So, anyways, all right, we're on to the next topic. Okay, how do you feel about rounding your back versus straight stiff back on a deadlift? So, right, when we're talking about like a max lift, the heavier the lift, the more important technique is, right? But like 30% or 40%, it's less important. Okay. So we want to try and create a stiff back, right? We don't want the spine to actually like actively round or extend during the pattern. We want it to stay stiff. Now, if it's stiff with a little bit of a bend, that's okay too, right? If we look at any heavy deadlifters, they're going to have some kyphosis, right? They're not going to be in lordosis. They're not going to be in extension. They're going to be a little bit flex, and that's okay, right? There's nothing wrong with that, but the one thing that I do want to hammer in, and I hope all 28 people listening, okay, is that it is not dangerous to round your back under load at all. Watch anyone do high volume dumbbell snatches or power snatch barbell cycling or anything like that. The problem is is people avoid it like the plague. And so when their back blows up, they're like, why did it blow up? And it's because you don't train any type of flexion bias training, because we've demonized that you have to have this stiff back for all lifts all the time, right? And for max lifts and max bracing, yes, it makes it important, right? It's important. Okay. So okay, so Sean says, so this is all bro science that I have, but it seems like when we use the cue straight back and pull your shoulders back, you overextend in the opposite direction with a normal spine. No, you're not going to overextend, right? Now, what happens is people will overextend at the top, right? And they basically, I call it like hanging on the Y ligament. And so you get into you get into basically a point where you're just kind of balancing the bar, and that's when that little bit of lower back pain starts to come in, right? So when I stand anyone up from a deadlift, right, like I don't tell them to set their shoulders back, right, like a powerlifting deadlift. I tell them to squeeze their ass and squeeze their knees and just make sure that their shoulders are on top of their hips, not behind, right? Because I don't like that position, because basically once your shoulders get behind, then the lower back is going to relax, right? Because now your center of gravity has shifted behind your hips and that back isn't working anymore. Okay. But what I do for everyone that has back pain, for anybody, it doesn't matter. 90% of their hinge bias training is flexion. Okay. Right. It's flexion stuff. I know everyone in this chat, in whatever, I guess we'll take Sam off the fucking screen. I know everyone in this chat believes that they need to set their back and have this hard brace all the time. Okay. So I don't have to worry about that anymore. The problem is, and the challenge is, that people can't move outside of that perfect pattern. And that perfect pattern is unrealistic, except in warm up weights to 50 to 60%. Okay. And so they do. Everyone has a strong opinion about it, and they're fucking wrong. Right. And the reason why they're wrong is just anatomy. Okay. If the back was meant to be perfectly straight all the time, like fucking, you know, Stu McGill says, right, in Fix Your Back, or whatever that stupid fucking book is, right, then the spine would be a rod. Okay. Right. The spine would be a rod, and it wouldn't be a bunch of individual segments. Okay. Right. Right. We have 33 vertebrae so that we can bend and rotate. That's why the vertebrae do different things. Okay. So, Jody, squeeze your knees. So when I tell people to stand up, right, I just want them to lock their knees and drive their hips into extension. I don't want them to overarch their back at the top, right? Just put your shoulders on top of your hips. So it's going to look like you're almost like this. That's okay. I'd rather be better than being overextended. Okay. But yeah, so when I go through everyone, right, if we're deadlifting and we're snatching or whatever, obviously I want them to set their back if we're trying to spinal erectors. All right. Jonathan just came everywhere. So when we are going through heavy load, it's important to have a good brace, right? Now that good brace it wavers, right? Like you can have a little bit of flexion. Like I'm always a little bit flexed, right? I'm not an overextension. But what I found is people that have a lot of range of motion and that are really, really extended, they really struggle with their backs blowing up in a lot of training, right? So because they're working way harder to accomplish the same pattern, right? It's okay to be a little flexed, right? So when we do, what's our goal of CrossFit, right? Is to be the most efficient. So we want to use the least amount of force and the least amount of brace and the least amount of muscle contraction per pattern. Okay. And so, so you find the pattern that fits you best. Those that I found that overextend everywhere, they blow up really easily, right? They get crushed on handstand push-up deadlifts or box jump deadlifts or burpee box jumps, et cetera, right? And so when I work with anybody, right, a lot of our training is bracing, like GHG, hip extensions, Sorensen holds, good mornings, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm not overly concerned if they're going to be in kind of like this slight extension position, this normal spinal curve, right? Right here. Right? So making sure that we use the right words. Whoops. There we go. Hold on. Spine image. There we go. So normal spinal curve. There we go. All right. So instead of having, what just happened here? Remove. Present. Where do we go? We just went. Where did my shit go? There we go. All right. So this is just nerves. But instead of having this, like it's okay that this is going to move. This is always going to round, right? Bottom of a squat, etc. Blah, 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 blah. It's never going to be in this position. Bottom of a squat, hinging, it's always going to flex some, right? The research shows that across the board. Even perfect squatters like Liu Xiaojun and the Chinese, like they just look perfect every time they move. It's still rounds. There's still a butt wink at the bottom, etc. So we don't demonize it too much. We want to learn how to brace, right? And we want to avoid basically. So we start a deadlift and we don't want the deadlift to go from flat to rounded within the pattern. Okay. Right. So it's not a bad thing. Right. But when we avoid it at all costs, then it becomes a bad thing because you're going to do it in high volume training, right? You're going to do it raking the leaves. You're going to do it picking up your dog or your kid. Like the back is going to round. So we need to train it rounding in some capacity. Maybe not like a 500-pound deadlift, but Jefferson curls, crossbody RDLs, like rotation and flexion bias stuff. No, Stu McGill is the fucking worst. Absolutely worst. Samuel asked, trap bar versus straight bar. I like both. I think they both do different things completely. Straight bar deadlift is a hinge pattern and it should not be a push. The trap bar is a 100% push pattern with no eccentric loading, right? So, but it's not a hinge, right? It's a push pattern. Like it obviously it does still work your back from a bracing perspective, right? But it doesn't work your hamstrings and your glutes. Okay, so it's not a hinge pattern. It is a push. It's basically just like a squat with a different design. So, my man, that's what I'm talking about. I don't know what this is. Is Hiller spouting bad stuff on technique? Oh, you're talking about reps. Fuck that shit. Don't overextend. I don't like it. Yeah, I think with beginners, when we're trying to teach them stuff, I think it's important that they understand how to brace. But I also do believe, like wholeheartedly, that it is important to not demonize flexion across the board, right? So that's really, really, really important. Okay. Super important. We don't want to demonize it. It's part of the thing, right? That's just like people saying that you shouldn't do lateral raises overhead, right? Or upright rows because they're bad for your shoulder. If they were bad for us inherently, then the body wouldn't do it. That's just how that works. It's called fucking, evolution, right? Like we are the way we are because the body is meant to do all the things that it's capable of doing. So we don't want to train and avoid patterns ever, right? We want to move through all the patterns. We want to do knees over toes, right? Even though I don't fucking like his thing. Well, so interestingly enough, all carbs are processed though, right? So not necessarily, right? So I don't know if this doesn't quite reign the same. Fruits are, veggies are, right? But like grains, right? We had to create that, right? I could be wrong, but we had to create the ability to eat grains and process them so they can be consumed. Right? But yes, fruit and veggies, I agree, all meats, blah, 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 blah. But I think like the grain concept, cereal, bread. So feet flat, right? But no, knees over toes are not bad. I don't know who says that. That's never bad. But like I like sissy squats and things like that too, right? But yes, your knees can go over your toes, 100%. No one should be. That's like such old school. If anyone is still saying that, it's insane. I think John said it yesterday, but that's just because John has the anthropometrics to squat like that, right? If your feet are flat, you can let your knees go as far forward as possible. There's nothing bad about letting your knees drive forward or squatting below parallel. If you try to keep your knees back too far, you're going to round even more and you're going to bend over, right? Center of gravity kind of stuff. So the knees can go always for sure. Yep. Are you not in trouble anymore? Are you allowed to be on your computer now and you're not missing any messages? Grant, whoops. Dude, Sam is so big. It's crazy. Nuts. Yeah. Yeah. Like, I'm not a huge fan of him specifically, right? Like that will fix everything, but I do very much promote I do very much promote that all movement is good movement, right? And if we have a pattern that just doesn't agree with us, we should probably find ways to do more of it in a non-threatening or non-like pain driving way, right? So like if it hurts to squat or whatever it is, or sort of. Charlie's was like very like strength balance stuff. But have you done work with Maddie Rogers? Yeah, I mean maybe a smidge, right? But I connected her with her current PT because she was having pelvic floor issues, and that's way out of my range, right? So he's working with a buddy of mine. Because that's just not, it's a whole different profession, basically. Not even rehab anymore. Oh man. Whoa. Uh-oh. Oh. I need like a 30-second commercial clip for WODprep. So I can go pee when it's time. I feel like I just need to put on like something and like leave the screen for a second. But this happens like every morning. This is like kind of like a long episode, right? And I'm drinking a lot of coffee, so I always got to pee like my last 10 minutes. Yeah, I'm not gonna like throw her business out there. If you guys want to hear more about her current stuff, we did a 2-hour interview. It's on Instagram, or it's on YouTube. I interviewed Maddie. It was really good. Talked about a lot of different stuff. And so you guys should go watch it. Jonathan, yeah, for sure. Definitely. Yeah, definitely. All right. What's everyone's weekend look like? Mine is busy. Kid stuff. We got pictures. Oh yeah, that's right. Grant, you were on late last night, weren't you? YouTube. You're doing let's see. Are we really doing Hiller reviews? Is that really a thing? I mean, I guess it could be worse. So what happened here? Hold on. Did John just leave you and do his own Bible study thing? Whoa. I don't know. It looks like he left you because he's doing his own little thing now, right? Get your popcorn ready. Um,
freaking 50s or something.
I don't know.
Like,
It's probably your. What kind of camera are you using? What kind of camera are you using? It could be just your internet, too. Right. I mean, Ty's pretty blurry. It's like sitting in the dark.
You look at other relations. There's a lot of relationships out there where there couldn't be more different. Look at Hillary and Rick.
Then it's probably your internet. Yeah, that's a pretty 30 is a pretty slow upload. That's probably why. My upload's like you got to get fiber. Boy, you got to get off that. I don't know, whatever you have, that local cable, and get on AT&T. Get that fiber. Yeah, 30 is pretty slow for an upload, especially if you're going to try and do it in like 1080. So, but yeah. Oh man, I think kids. Grant has crappy Wi-Fi, definitely. All right, so we did a Hiller review. We did it. You missed it. We did a Hiller review. Was this last night? Is it for today? What time? 10 hours. She's gonna try and go at peak time. Isn't that when Savan goes on? Doesn't he go on at like 6 or 7? You're gonna go on right when he goes on. Wait, is this real? Which kid? Oh. Oh shit. I'll share my screen. This is scary. Mycoplasma bacteria. What the fuck is that? Oh. Share. Pause. Mycoplasma bacteria. So you got it at school. Damn, that sucks. I'm glad he's home though. God, that's so fucking scary. So scary. Oh my gosh. Whoops. But he's got some Pikachu though. You know what I mean? Dude, Pikachu will make everything better. Gotta get that front and set up. I wonder if it's on her page more. I don't follow her. Bless Vanderbilt. Man, he just fell quick, huh? Not really sure where to start. Having a hard time responding. Don't want to seem rude. I'm just gonna read through this real quick. So I'm going through. It seems like he's doing better. Let's see. No. Oh man, dude, his mouth is all bloodied up. Damn, that sucks. God, that's fucking crazy. Oh, man, he's been sick for a long time. They said 9 days. Damn, this is wild. So damn, that sucks. Oh my God, that's the scariest fucking thing I could ever imagine. Well, prayers to them. You guys don't pray. I know they would appreciate it. Just send them some love. That's wild. Everyone just has their own opinion. Anyways, dude, that's wild. Ugh. That's so nerve-wracking. Holy smokes. God, that makes me want to cry. Man, I can't imagine. I know it's probably going to happen. Bennett's going to get sick, and I'm just going to be a fucking mess. 100%. It's for sure going to happen, but yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, for sure, buddy. I'll pray for you. Definitely hope everything's okay. Oh, she's at St. Jude. We have. Fine. So let's switch it up. I mean, I assume that means I'm praying for you and your family, Sean. Rapid rings. Yeah, they're super nice. Super nice. So expensive. It's like a couple $100 for a pair of rings. That's wild. But they are really nice. It's pretty cool. Like definitely for like a garage gym. Convenience. Yeah, they're so nice. But just really, really expensive. That's it. But yeah, it's just like to be there and hooked and boom, done. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's worth it, like again, for like a home gym. You can't, I mean, no like gym. I mean, this is like what, 10? A pack of 5, $1,300, guys. It's $400. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, you have a squat rack in your living room, not even in the garage. God, my wife would fucking murder me. 100%. How is this? This math doesn't math. 219 times 5 is 1,100, but this is 1,300. What's the difference here? Oh, 259. Oh, with rings, with no rings. Got it. So I like their pack of 5 is the same. I always love when people do that. Like, here, buy this pack. It's the same, but it's the same exact price as buying 5. It's like, just give a discount. Give like a little discount, you know? Oh, all right. Any last bits? Any questions, comments? Guys, so here, real quick. Let them know. All right. If you are optimizing your sleep, you train hard, you guys have to be taking Third Z. Third Z is the #1 sleep supplement and recovery supplement on the market. Melatonin free. Scan this QR code. Just learn about it a little bit. Scan the QR code. It would help me a ton, obviously. But we definitely appreciate all of you around here. But if you're looking to improve your sleep, optimize the sleep you currently get, I'm a dad, I'm a business owner, I try to train. Sort of hard. I get up early to do these fucking podcasts at 6 in the morning. I read beforehand. I get up and work before my family gets up. I go to bed after they go to sleep. And sometimes I don't sleep a lot, but I'm always rested and recovered because I take Third Z every single day. Give it a try, 100%. No, she'd be happy with you because you'd be a better human and you would sleep better. You'd be happier. The taste is like it's like a soft strawberry, like cherry fruity kind of thing. It's kind of sweet. 6 ounces of water, stir it up. Psh, I got my little frother mixer thing. Crushes it. I usually throw it. Sometimes I'll throw it in some protein if I'm a little low on protein for the day. Boom, mix it in there, a little bit of chocolate. Then it's real fire. Super good. But give it a scan. PM Recovery Collagen. No melatonin. Best sleep supplement on the market. Yeah, you can mix anything with it. Doesn't matter. If you take your creatine at night, you wouldn't. I assume your creatine is tasteless. So, make sure to subscribe, guys. So I know a lot of. So I found this recently, and this is a huge fuck up by YouTube, right? And I'm gonna ask for some money here for like a hot second. So if you guys watch this on your phone, right, you can subscribe, right? Turn. But if you're watching this on a desktop, then you see, right? So there's a subscribe and there's a join. Well, there's a subscribe and then a join. All right. I'm just going to share my screen, make it easier. You can see my face. Cool. Perfect. Look at that. What a face. So there's a subscribe. Okay. You turn the bell on, but there's also a join. Okay. And so I'm just going to switch the account so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, renew. Okay. So there's a join, right? Hit that join button. I know. No join. Exactly. Are you watching on your phone, Gus? So if you're watching on your phone, right? This is the problem. And YouTube has totally fucked up. Okay. And I didn't know this. I had someone trying to join and they texted me. They're like, hey, I can't join. There's no join button. Okay. So there's no join button. And so I'm going to tell you guys how to join. Right. It is asking for money. You don't have to join. Right. And so let me just be clear. But the join is just like to support the podcast, right? 5, 8, blah, 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 blah. Get a badge, whatever. If you join, I would greatly appreciate it. We want to do this more and more, right? So the more we're able to financially create feasibility, then the better we're going to be able to do. Okay. So, but for you to join, you have to take YouTube on your phone, go to youtube.com, not the app. Okay. And you have to go to the desktop version. Okay. So if you copy and paste the link, if you join the top, buddy, if you join this super fan, 100% you can stay with me in Colorado. I'll figure it out. No doubt in my mind. All right. So, whoops. Here we go. So on the phone, and I don't understand how YouTube could have fucked this up this much, right? But you have to go to the desktop version. So you need to basically copy and paste the link, go to youtube.com, WODprep, and then click the little 3 bars, change it to a desktop version, and then that will pop up. So if you're ever interested in joining, and now everyone left because I'm asking them for money, you know, it is what it is, but it does really help us be able to do it. It's only a few bucks. It's only a few bucks. We would really appreciate it. And it helps us keep doing this, right? Maybe I can coach a couple less people. But anyways, thank you guys for being here. We're late. We ran long. It's our longest show yet. Everyone was hanging out, so we were chatting. But thanks for 29. I see 16. It's the dog tax. Oh, is Duke in here? Come here, bud. Come here. We'll say bye to Duke. And then we'll head out for the day. I think Bennett's making noise. Come on, Duke, come here. Come on. I think Duke's got some arthritis in his leg. Duke, hey, come on, let's go. Come here. Come here, big boy. Come on. Come on. Go. Okay, come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Sit. Oh no, I closed my camera. There we go. JJ's Duke. Hello. This is a big boy. No, no treats for him. He's fat. No treats for Duke. Okay. You say bye-bye? You say bye. Bye-bye. Say have a good day. Bye, everybody. Enjoy the day. We'll see you guys on Monday. Say bye.